I do tend to play in like GM4, GM5, GM4, or like Masters 1. Like I hover around
Okay.
that area.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then like same with the Kiriko in terms of like elo.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think which is I have been like getting better since the forum. I
yeah.
think that one was like Masters 2, Masters 1.
Okay. 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 Sounds good. I mean, obviously we're very early in the season, so placements are going to be a little bit all over the place, but yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds
like
good.
it was so hard for me to actually get a decent game in before.
Yeah,
I
that's
did not
fine.
realize the
That's fine.
patch.
I'm glad we're able to get something done then. Okay. Sounds good. All right. What got you interested in coaching?
I watched all of your videos and like I think they improved a lot, or at least all of your support videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, great. I play this little mini game where I would just say, what would Spilo do whenever you pause, or what would your response be?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of sometimes I'd be wrong, sometimes I'd be right. But the problem is that it doesn't really help me in terms of what's wrong with what I have or my
Right.
issues.
Right.
Like,
Everyone's got their own shortcomings and their own focuses they have to
yeah,
work on. Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely. Okay.
Like one
Okay.
issue that I have is like I've been told I zombie walk a lot, where I'm just mindlessly pressing W key, I autopilot, and then that just causes me to just feed my brains out. And
Yeah.
then I only snap back into it after I just go, what the fuck
Right, right. You
did
kind
I
of
just
need like a
do?
reevaluation of what's going on, and then yeah, it may make sense. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's some self awareness that's useful. Um,
Yeah. And then
Now, talk me through your hero pool. So obviously it's flex with some Brigitte. Has it always been the case? Like kind of talk me through your routine over like the last few years, I guess even.
yeah, I started realizing that hey, split sport's pretty fun after I randomly had to fill a Zenyatta in Kings Row back in Overwatch 1.
Yep.
And then while trying to go collegiate, since one of the schools needed a main support for the semester, rather
Yep.
than I was like, okay, cool, I'll try learning Brigida and then
Sure.
learn Lucio. But I kind of just started to hate main support because I didn't really find it that fun, except
Yeah.
for Brig. But I
Yeah.
didn't play Lucio. I was like, I'm just gonna stay flex.
Yeah. Okay. Makes
So
sense. I mean,
I got
go.
some coaching from like Honors, which is UCI's
Yeah.
main support, and that was really helpful.
Nice. What kind of
Yeah,
feedback did you
like
get? Were you able to implement?
it was mostly just how to simply play Brig. Like play
Sure.
with your team in like a competitive setting, walk first, and like communication was honestly probably the biggest skill that I learned. Even though it was a rank game, he did help me with how main supports communicate with Flex, which is something that I didn't have experience with because I wasn't trying out for teams
Yep.
during that
Yep.
time. But now that
Yep.
I'm in like more team setting, I'm able to communicate a bit more effectively
Yep. Yep. Okay.
with the help of others.
Good.
So yeah,
Good.
that was like pretty good.
Excellent. Excellent. And you've got goals to get collegiate OWCS. What's your collegiate situation looking like right now with the team? Are you
Uh,
currently in
I have
college or moving towards
I'm
college?
currently in college right now. I'm in a community college. I'm trying to transfer to my school of choice in Irvine.
Okay.
So, which granted, I don't even know if they're doing it next year. They're in
Right.
the
Sure.
process of not doing it.
Sure.
But yeah,
Sure.
like regardless, I still want to get good enough to be at that level.
Sure. What level do they compete at? Do you know?
All champion. They're all champion
All
players.
champion. Okay. So we got a little bit
Yeah.
to go. You'll have time though. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I have a year.
Um, okay. So let's see here. Flex support, you play around 15, 20 hours per week. Obviously, if this has changed since you filled out, how do you feel about your training schedule right now?
Right now it's like a it's a little bit weird because my scrim schedule doesn't give me full face up matches. I have to work Mondays,
Yeah, of
so I
course.
only get to compete Wednesday. But in terms of that, I think it's been going okay. Since school's done, I have a lot more time to actually practice, get rid of my bad habits, like my zombie walking.
Yeah, of course.
Other things is like I've been told I play too passively at times where like I could be more aggressive, but instead I'm taking a bit more of a passive route. But I was hoping that it's something I could fix maybe with the Kiriko game.
Yeah, sure, of
Because
course.
the Baptiste replay that I sent you is mostly just, all right, how the fuck do I actually play Baptiste?
Yeah, okay, okay, sounds good. So Kiriko, it's more like the kind of the play style, the setup. And then
Yeah,
BAP is just
because
like, what am I doing with this character?
yeah, I also kind of want to do like a community search because you don't really have many BAP replays as of late.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
works for
that
me.
worked
Works for
out.
me. Okay, really quick before we move on though from your form, you feel like understanding a mentality or shortcomings. You kind of talked about understanding in terms of BAP specifically not sharing what to do, but understanding mentality globally. Like what comes to mind?
What do you mean?
As
Sorry.
in, what do you feel like you? Because that was what you put on your form as your shortcomings. What aspects of your understanding and mentality? Be a little bit more, I
Like
guess,
I just
explain.
don't think I have a full grasp of the game
Sure,
well enough.
sure. In what
Like,
regard are you really not sure? What kind of leads you to feel that way? I guess.
I think it's just like what I need to actually start doing. Because I think when I filled out that form,
Hmm.
I had like an understanding of, oh my God, these pros, they're doing like some secret thing that I have yet to figure out. But then I
Yeah,
realized, no, it's more so they have a mastery of the fundamentals in their instincts. And
yeah,
then they refine it with their macro, with their team play. So
yeah,
when
yeah.
I filled out that form, I was thinking they have to have like some type of secret sauce. But then as I practiced, as I got better, like granted, I don't think I got better in terms of rank, but I think I got better as a player drastically from start to scrim.
Yeah.
And like I realized, yeah, no, it's not really any secrets. Team play, practice, a lot more instinctual mechanics that I just haven't built.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. You talked about the zombie walk. Is there anything else that you're, to your knowledge, aware of being a shortcoming, things that you need to practice that comes to mind?
I waste a lot of abilities. I got a bot view from Apply once where it was mainly on Juno and on BAP, where I would just like randomly E, randomly shift, just for the sake of doing it. I
Sure.
think it's the worst on my Ana, but I don't really have a good gameplay for Ana yet, since I feel like my mechanics have just suddenly plummeted, and I
Sure.
haven't really.
Sure.
It's not the best showing, or that's actually worth it.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So keeping an eye on ability usage and specifically the positioning when it comes to just your proximity pressing W too much. Okay. Okay. I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions? The last thing, we didn't talk as much about training schedule. I know you said you have more time to play right now. If you've seen all of my
Yeah,
support sessions, you know how you should be practicing. So you got to be self-reflective about, am I taking breaks? Am I warming up? Am I being
yeah.
consistent with my play time? Does my hero pool look reasonable right now? Those are all things you just got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think like Hero Pool, I play everything except for like BAP in terms of flex support. So that's why I really just want to get him down, especially with the meta shifting towards BAP.
Okay. 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 Sounds good. Let's take a look here then. So you've got two codes here. Do you want to start with BAP? We probably have time to take a look at both, to be honest with you. So
Yeah,
we can.
we can start with BAP.
Okay. Let's take a look here. So Baptiste, Kings Row. It's a good map for BAP. Just the sight lines feel like
Yeah,
really kind of in the sweet spot. There are angles, there's flanks, but it's pretty not as flank crazy. And then obviously the verticality is like perfect, right? So okay.
exactly.
To your
That's
knowledge, what is BAP's unique value? Where do you find value? What is BAP's strengths?
his burst and his weapon.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
and granted, like there's also Lamp.
Right, right, right. Okay, okay. Sounds good. So just a lot of his weapon. When you said burst, did you mean the sustain burst or just damage
Well, I
burst
mean,
or
just
what?
like in general, right? His gun
Yeah,
does a lot of burst healing. His E does a lot as well. He does good damage.
yeah. Okay, okay. Sounds good. Any questions about BAP specifically before we take a look?
Not really, not yet,
Okay.
at least.
Now I'm going to move it at slightly accelerated rate here in terms of assuming some things because of your rank, but don't, if you
Yeah,
feel like I'm
that's
moving
fine.
too fast or if I make any assumptions and you're like, wait, can you elaborate on that? Just let me know and we'll go back.
Yeah.
So BAP's all like that medium range. We want weapon pressure, we want damage, we want weaving, we want either your abilities to be used because you are enabling somebody else to be aggressive if you can reach them. Otherwise, you yourself need to be playing aggressively and taking duels on angles. So doesn't mean you get in people's faces necessarily. It's not really your effective range, but yeah, okay. Do you have any questions with his perks?
Uh, is it just lamp perk and then jump perk
Yeah, so the
or
lamp break
W?
is pretty much a no-brainer, right? Most of the time for
Yeah,
consistency. And then the jump perk, yes and no. Obviously, it received a pretty different buff, the assault burst did. I have not experimented with that enough to really say. I could see a world where rocket boost falls off if you're not under any sort of dive pressure whatsoever. Like in other
yeah,
words, if
that's
you're
fair.
if they're full frontlining Malga on a Zen, Ram Malga Zen, they're just beating your tank to death. If you can't take an aggressive off angle and use your dash perk, then maybe you could use the other perk. But yeah, to be honest with you, probably going to be those two. Okay. This angle's fine to start. Obviously, your direct heal sustain is like really, really good here. I guess this is kind of where the difficulty of King's Row is, like this angle just doesn't feel great just because you do have a sightline, but the range is so extreme, it feels as if you're not really able to put out much pressure early in the trade. This is a nice lamp, to be honest with you. Like, I don't hate it. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you were even just here, utilizing your weapon here, this would just feel so much better. I understand not wanting to hold this angle here right now. It just really feels very exposed. I could argue that you probably want to hold the angle here, maybe optimally. This isn't too bad. Force the Hazard to commit CDs, and then obviously move away as he moves forward. But at the very least, holding this angle here, we can actually weave more pressure on that backline. Definitely going to feel a lot more valuable.
Yeah. I think for that lane, I was trying to save the Genji.
Yeah, it was a fine lamp. Yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of like those things where like you just didn't do enough pressure earlier on, right? Yeah, I was gonna say keep your attention on the Hazard. It's fine. Unfortunately, it didn't quite hit the Genji, but that's just something that you need to practice with. So like you need to kind of eyeball it a little bit more, but you need more time on BAP to see that. So like right here, you're gonna look at how close this comes. Let's look at the animation here. Wait, it didn't show it. Don't really it shows it. Hang on. Let's watch that again. Usually see like a circle going around you. Let's see if we see it here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you can see it's just, I mean, it's like a foot off. You see that? I mean, you can literally see. Yeah, just a little bit. So this is a fine regenerative burst from you. It was well intended. It's okay. You just need to practice the spacing just a tiny bit more. But yeah, honestly, fine.
Okay, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was thinking of taking left here since Hazard hasn't jumped in yet. Just still put more pressure.
That's fine. Now you got to be careful here because what's the status of your CDs?
I don't have anything.
Right. So like really the most consistent use for your CDs is using them on yourself for BAP especially. But obviously that's kind of your insurance to take positions in spaces like this. So yes, you're correct that Hazard isn't here, but you do need to immediately rotate away the second that you even get remotely contested. Case in point right here.
Yeah.
You need to back up. You need to back up. And then, as you get your CDs back, you can then take the attention and take the rotation elsewhere. Yeah. Where would that be right now? You could just be here. I mean,
more left side.
Yeah, but probably just rotate back to high ground, rotate back to left again. It's something that you have to, it takes context. Like you would still want to rotate to here with cover preferably, and you need to be careful of Hazard's wall and so on, right? But this needs to be where you need to force space, right? This is better than where you started because at least you can reach things from here. But as you're progressively backing up, do you see the gap between you and your Ryan increasing?
Yeah, I need to start walking with my Reinhardt here.
Right, so this means you're guaranteed to lose this tank trade. Like this tank trade is you've lost. It's over. Because their Brig Juno are doing things, you are not, right? This is where your extreme range is a problem. This is, you don't almost ever need to be this far from anybody in BAP. You need to be one, even versus like a Winston, right? You want to play jump distance, but this is too far.
Yeah, if I started where you said before, on the height, closer to the stairs, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yes, correct. Like, you don't want to be, like, one cooldown jump away necessarily, but honestly, even if that happens, that's kind of what your kit's there for, right? Like, especially once you get those perks, like, you're kind of meant to absorb that pressure just a little bit, right? You do so much pressure in the tank trade if you have a good angle, but if you don't have a good angle, like, well, then you're kind of cooked, right? Good shots. Good shots. Can rotate forward. Let's keep zooming. Okay, we'll skip forward a little bit here. Okay, I want to see what happens here. This is fine. I mean, that's just a little bit unlucky. If somebody gets one shot that quick, just let them die, to be honest with you. I like the way of looking at Lamp as you start as being more of like, I anticipate this is going to be a problem because I see that they've overextended without cooldowns, right? When I look at this here, I do not anticipate Genji dying. So I would not be ready to lamp this whatsoever. The guy got murked. Nothing you can really do about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your fault. So this is important. You've backed up because you've lost one, but you've kept space. Do you see it?
Yeah.
This is important. I also like that you're only damaging right now. Why?
because my running hair doesn't really need healing, and I don't
Right.
want to have to
Correct.
flick
Correct.
back and forth,
Correct.
making
Correct.
my accuracy less.
Right. When the weave is consistent, was easy. It's fine. This weave would suck. So just shoot the freaking hazard. Now, where's your rotation from here?
Probably to left side.
Yeah, I think it needs to be
Or
to left side. I think it needs to be
yeah,
from left side. Your other option,
I'd be
obviously,
inside my everybody.
right. Your other option would be you can kind of compress here or even drop back, but obviously you lose your angle. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth risking running into hazard here with my regenerative burst? Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
You've done enough
I have
pressure to
it.
this. Yeah, you've done enough pressure to this guy early and on to kind of put him on a back foot. He's also used his wall. If you get dove by hazard, it's not an immediate death sentence, right? Like you have a tool to maybe win this 1v1, right?
Yeah.
The problem here is that it's even riskier to hold this space here. And then because you didn't think about your next rotation, he's actually after you first off. But you've lost space. So you absorbed attention and got a good regenerative burst. But the difference between getting cooldowns forced here and cooldowns forced here is one pulls attention away from your team, one pulls attention towards your team. Now you've lost all space.
Yeah, you're right. The
So-
high just rotates sooner.
Yeah, so this is
thinking, like,
this is
one
the
more step
problem.
ahead.
Yeah, there's a major problem with Ana, Baptiste, and Zen. It's the fact that people think that you don't have to worry about rotating as much. And while that's partially true, it's really not entirely true. Like this guy doesn't have a mobility cooldown, and we've talked about rotations almost nonstop this entire review, right? You cannot sit in one spot and just AFK. You will get an advantage. You need to push forward. Okay, so where can you push forward? Okay, you've used cooldowns. Okay, so where should you angle safely? Okay, they've taken space. So where should you back up? Okay, now I have a cooldown. How should I retake the angle without breaking LOS, right? Like these are things that you have to think about obsessively, right? I don't hate this lamp or window. It's not great, but it does allow you to get to the choke comfortably. So it's like fine, I guess.
I wanted to do it more up, but then I got whipped right at the same time.
Yeah, it happens. It's not the end of the world. I mean, and I'm also just pleased to see a support ult being used to get space. Like, it's just the best use of most support ults is just the open space. But in here, even, right? Like, sure, we need to retake space. Where is that space right now?
My side?
I mean, this feels awkward for BAP, right? So I appreciate this is better than nothing, but it's not optimal. Not at your rank. Certainly not. Where is the space?
Left side then?
Probably left, right? You got to think about, can I rotate in the open? Maybe I can't. Maybe I can rely on my Rhine shield. Maybe if I do it quickly and get to here, maybe I need to back off and take the high ground and rotate that way. Like, this is a decision that you needed to make as soon as you guys got this kill and force this hazard out. Right now, you got to go, where am I going? Where am I need to going now?
Straight left.
Yeah, straight. Like, even, like, letting your Genji die so that you can get this space here and catch this engage. If you can catch this engage here, you're cooking. You're in great.
I also think I caught out by houses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because you'd make him choose where he has to use that ult, right? You allow your LOS off of your Rhine, and you mean that you wouldn't have to get exploded on. So a lot of BAP is finding those rotations depending on the status of your cooldowns and depending on where people are. You want to find that medium range and be able to apply pressure here. It means taking risks because, yeah, if you screw up, you can't get out like Kiriko. But at the same time, you put so much more pressure than a Kiriko does in those in-betweens. That hazard's walking forward, he's getting toasted. Okay, let's... Any questions so far?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm kind of just seeing, since this was really the last game that I just played,
Yeah,
I'm kind of just reviewing everything that we were doing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Where's the next
I
rotation?
definitely see the next step rotations.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing a good job. Okay, let's keep going here. This is fine. Like, you can even start here and go, uh-oh, hazard got jumped. He's right here. I'm going to go and back off and rotate off to the next angle, right? Like, you can do that. Because that might be too far, too close. But then you hear hazard use jump, and look what you do, right?
Yeah.
You go, I got a free window here. Let's put some
I
pressure on
also
here.
saw that the Genji needed to die, so I need to like make it even. So I need to
Yeah,
go for
well,
a
right.
riskier
But then
player.
see, the thing is why did the Genji die? Let's look at it.
Because I wasn't applying pressure.
Well, maybe, but also like there's resources being put on Genji right now. You see this? So that means that those resources are not being put here. So if Genji dies, there's a window of vulnerability for the enemy team. That's the funny thing about Overwatch. When it's a 4v5, there's a very brief window where you can easily get a trade because, I mean, look where the freaking Ashe is, right? She's not shooting window. Look at the Brig. She's not even looking, right? There's a window, right? And so not only do you probably should look for a trade here, but you're more likely to find it. Case in point. Good lamp. Now, this is where the zombie walk kicks in. This is where the zombie walk kicks in.
Yeah.
I understand your urgency to help, and I also understand that in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I get easier lamp, I can get my regenerative burst on this guy. I understand, but no. You need to hold the space here. You need to. You need to make the hazard come for you. You need to solo window yourself. You need to save burst for yourself. You need to pray that you can hit those, even just the splash at this range, right? You do not transition here. You're cooked if you make this transition, and you're also losing space at the same time. Do you see how this fight's like a serious problem? Look at this ash angle.
I just gave them everything that they needed.
You gave him so much space. Right now, you're up one here, so maybe, but oh my days, will this be stressful. There it is, right? There it is. That was what we were expecting, right? Whereas I don't even need to look at here. This would be like an evening on Jamaica with like a pina colada. You get what I'm saying? Like holding this angle would be so relaxing given where you put yourself. Control the space that you're at.
Feel everything.
You got everything. You get the lamp on the Life Weaver. Life Weaver lives. You window yourself from top and you just murder everybody. Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm. Do you know like how to? Is it just purely a conscious effort to just say, all right, am I walking? Like, how do you actually stop zombie walking?
So when we talk about the zombie walk, maybe this isn't exactly right in your case, but in most instances where I see it, it's due to a lack of thinking about positioning in general. So the reason why the zombie walk was done here is because you weren't thinking about where you needed to be. You started here, and then as the fight evolved, there was no, where should I be? Should I drop? No, should I stay? You just walked towards thing, need help. That's no good. So the zombie walk might not just be a habit that you have to break. It's probably more a habit you have to replace. In other words, instead of focusing on who desperately needs help, turning your brain off, ask, where do I need to be right now? Should I stay?
Yeah, okay.
Should I rotate? Like, where should I be? Where should I be? If you obsess thinking about where do I need to be as a practice drill, you'll probably find yourself zombie walking a lot less because you're actually thinking about where your feet need to go.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Now, it's not going to say it's going to fix it entirely. Games where you're working on your cooldown usage, you're probably going to zombie walk more. But if we're being more deliberate about our positioning in general, you're going to find yourself making positional errors a lot less in general. Yeah, I understand. Like, here's my thing with Lamp. Okay, here's my thing with Lamp. It is inconsistent because of the range, right? It's just too far. So by the time he's crit, he's already dead by the time the Lamp gets there. So don't use it. Unless you know for sure that there's something, just fine. Don't use it. It's 24 seconds. You'll find use for it somewhere else, even if it's on yourself. It's the same thing with the Genji earlier, where it's like the window to react was like 0.01 seconds. Nobody, not even the best Bapt in the world, could have lamped that. So don't try. Let the Genji die. Frick him. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Go next.
Yeah.
There's just too much consistent value that you can get out of your lamp elsewhere, especially with that perk. Like, you think about, like, the healing from that perk. Like, that is so freaking good for you. Like, it's so good. It's just more healing in a 1v1, so don't waste it like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, that right there, it's like, you got to read the cover, you got to read the deflect, right? But that's a little bit different. That's a different mistake. That's I needed to think about his cooldowns, right? That's not, it was too far away, right?
Yeah.
This is unwise.
Lamp's about to end.
Right. You know he's got HP, he has slash. I don't think you know the status of all. Maybe you do. But yeah,
I don't think I certainly didn't.
Yeah. You're cooked. That's unstrategic positioning.
I think I just want to get back to use my burst.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Your team had already knocked their teeth in, so it's like, there was a lot of noise going away from you, so it's all right.
Got it.
Shoot. Good. Shoot. Good shots. Sure. Yes, good. Yes. See, that's called a predictive lamp. That's a lamp that you know that guy's going to need it, and you have plenty of time to do it, and you don't hesitate. This is your best lamp by far. Mm-hmm. You know he's going to need it. And you had plenty of time to react. So let's look. Bam. Right? Perfect. Now you end up using Life Grip as well, but yeah, I mean, but it's fine. It's really good. Close. Almost. You almost got it. Good. I would have liked a little bit more attention turned away from your tanks here. So just given the status right here of like what they're doing here, I would have put a little bit more pressure with my weapon here and just trusted my Weaver or somebody else to deal with this. Because he's okay. We need to stop these guys from walking forward. More of just a minor thing, where your weapon attention's going. Even here, like, you got nothing really to lose, so you might as well go try and kill that Tracer. You know what I'm saying? You might as well look at you. They might as well walk forward and try something. Now, this is one time where the zombie walk makes sense, but I just wish you'd looked at the Tracer sooner. You get what I'm saying? You got a big lamp here, and I don't think you win this, but, like, hey, I got value, so... All right, we're gonna lose this. Okay. With the information that you have, do you feel safe about this peak right here? Let's go back and give you a little bit of context. Let's listen. Can you hear?
He used jump.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I can take this.
I think you can too. I think with both cooldowns and him using jump 100%. In fact, I think you need to. I think you need to get this guy off. You have the verticality. That's your job. Like that's the kit. That's the kit that you have. Use it right now.
Also has less armor.
Yeah. So he's been chipped down. Keep the ball rolling, right? Now you didn't know that he had less armor, but it doesn't matter. You heard jump. You have cooldowns. Shoot his face, and stop healing your tank. Yes, perfect. Not the best regenerative burst. I don't think you needed it, right? But very good job in terms of the pressure. Now, I don't like how your weapon attention goes here, right? Shoot hazard. Yeah, there's the block. Okay. Rhine's full. Leave the guy alone. Walk here with your burst, hopefully that you didn't waste, on this corner, and keep shooting this guy, right?
Like, kill him.
Yeah. Like you've earned this. Like you've done a good job. Your team did a good job poking him out. You did a good job going up top here. You should have both cooldowns here. And honestly, even if you didn't, you need to murder this guy. You've done a good job. Keep it going. Yeah, but a very nice job. That's intelligent space, intelligent rotations.
Is it worth it? I don't think. Actually, yeah. It was last fight. I should have ulted there.
It's fine. It's fine. You were focused on falling up to the shatter, which was like, you didn't need your window to kill the guy on the floor. Priority is killing the guy on the floor. It's fine. Okay, let's keep going here. Any questions?
Zombie walk abilities. No, I think we're good.
Yeah, specifically with lamp, it's don't worry about trying to go for these super fast last second clutch lamps across the map. If you're gonna clutch lamp, do it point blank. Do it on a tank that's up close. Do it on a life weaver that just got pulsed, right? Don't try to save people across the map. Save it for yourself. Save it for somebody else that's close. Rotations need much more work in terms of controlling space strategically. I hear recall. I hear hazard rotated away. Cassie just used hinder and roll. I have 2 cooldowns. There's nobody here. This high ground's free. Genji just used deflect. These are things that you have to contest. You don't need to track everything. You just need to track where you want to go. Like, for example, right here. We know kind of you want to rotate around main and then lean right? So you don't give a frick what Sojourn's Disruptor Shot cooldown is. You don't really care about recall. You don't care about speed ring all that much or torpedoes. But you do care about wall. You do care about slash, and that's all. Why? Because this is where you want to go, and he's the guy there.
That's the thing. Going to be a threat.
Right. Exactly. You don't have to track every cooldown. You just need to track the ones that are relevant to you. So this, for example, is the wrong space for you. Where should you be leaning towards, obviously? Right, like lean right, lean away. Now that means that you're going to abandon your Reinhardt. Yes, that's correct. If you go in this space here, you're going to die. You're going to get pincered by hazard, and you're going to die. Your Disruptor Shot will kill you, Tracer will kill you, Slash will kill you, Wall will kill you, you will die. Instead, open up your angle, apply pressure, and pocket your Rhine as soon as he gets out. Pull the attention away. This is correct. This is just too slow. It's good. It's a good job. Just a little faster next time. Where should you continue your rotation?
Deeper into right.
Have you earned that? Can you do that safely from the information that you have?
Yeah.
I think so too. There's somebody up here.
But I like Tracer's using blinks, but now she's using blinks.
It's verticality, right? I mean, she's just going to take her forever to get to you. And Sojourn Brig might force themselves on you, but you have the tools to live that for a while, right? So
I think it's lamp left and then stay there forever.
Yeah. So this is okay. But I want to see more. A little too much sustain. And obviously, like, I don't mind this rotation because you've opened up an angle to the left. I'm just sad that you chose the angle on the left when you had the opportunity to take the angle on right, because This feels better for you. Like, this is where we're skipping steps. If I'm working with a gold or a platinum BAP, we'd have to sit there and talk about this rotation a long time. You know you want a sightline. You know you like high ground. We can skip steps, right? So this is not the place that you want to be if you could choose. And then obviously here, you end up being too close. And this is exactly why you don't want to be here. And then you greeted your shift just a little bit too late, and it's tough. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Probably like on right, on like the little platform on top.
I don't like it. I think he'll die to Sojourn or Hazard it instantly. Yeah, if you go here, yeah, I mean it depends on comp, right? But like, I mean, you can tell me, do you like this? Like you're one rail away from death, right? Yeah, it just feels rough, and yeah, I don't like it that much. It's like one of those things that sounds cool in a concept, but it just doesn't work out that well. Now, this is interesting. Now, I don't like this because you have somebody on cart. So you're not really you haven't earned the right to push up here. This only works if you have gotten a stagger kill, or there's 3 of them, or 4, or 2, right? There's 5 of them here. This is dumb. But for just a brief moment, let's pretend that you have 5 people of your team here. Does this work?
I think I could stay aggro.
Yeah, I mean, he has to use a cooldown to get to you, and he still hasn't reached you with his slash, right? This guy should get punished for this. The reason he doesn't is because of this and because of this. Somebody has to get cart. So you can see, oh no, I got walled. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I had a lamp. Oh no, I had to shift myself. Well, you didn't even have to shift yourself, right? Like, that's kind of what I'm talking about, absorbing attention right there and doing so strategically. The problem is that it just wasn't a 5v5. That's all. Don't have CDs, be very careful here until you know the status of what he's at HP-wise. Even here, you got to be careful. Now you're fine because you see everything and you have your shift. You know Tracer's right, so you lean left where you can create a sightline on her. You can still be bold, though, given the status of your cooldowns. Good. Sure. Lamp perk. And then you can even pop your BAP window here. That one is one you could have lamped right there.
Yeah, because he's slow on the lamp.
Yeah. To be honest with you, he got murked, which is partly on him because he didn't see and he didn't roll in time. Generally, casters will give you more time to react. Yeah, so he fanned instead of rolling. That's on him. But that's okay. You can still win this. I probably would have BAP windowed that, to be honest with you. Right there. BAP window his jump, force him to either use ult or die or both. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So any sort of commitment.
Just a lot sooner.
Yeah. So like right here, as soon as you fail the lamp, okay, just lamp him right here. You will either kill him guaranteed, you'll force him to make a commitment in an uncomfortable spot. Yeah, just.
He actually lives this.
Yeah, that's why, because you missed your window. Literally, you get what I'm saying? You had an opportunity to catch him without leap and you missed it. I still don't hate the window because it does create a lot of space and it will isolate this tracer. So there's a world you can actually
kick. Right there. I was nearly full
yeah. I actually did. It was so bad. I actually didn't even see it. I didn't even know you were. Okay, yeah.
It's like there's literally just nothing there to
That's
do.
okay. That's okay. Well, the reason that you wasted it was because you're under a lot of pressure right now. This is it. The later in a fight you go, the more likely you are to make mistakes because so many things have been happening, right? So you're more likely to make mistakes. So that's okay. Clearly, being strategic about your cooldowns and rotations is something that you need to practice, but this isn't anything new. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I should have just given up, to be honest.
Yeah, because you need your shift to live that comfortably. And now this is like stress city.
I saw the damage from the soldier. I just didn't know where the soldier was from until I saw the
it's fine. It's fine. You have to play your life here anyway. Nice shot. I always love hitting directs.
It's so satisfying on Genji's.
It is. I just hate this, right? Like you know that he's got his deflect. He's in close ranges. You just have to, like, if you jumped up here and then we're gotten into a firefight with the Sojourn, oh no, hazards on me, oh no, tracers on me, and you had to lamp, that's fine. I don't like these predictive lamps. What this screams to me is a lack of confidence.
Right.
It's like I'm not
Which
going to
is
be fast enough to lamp.
true because I don't have hours on BAP.
You're right, but you like a high level BAP will never want to do this. So don't build a bad habit just because you suck right now. It's okay. It's
Got it.
okay. You'll learn. You'll get better. Like the one in the Cassie earlier, right? You've really only missed like 1 or 2 lamps this game. The other lamps have actually just been bad attempts. Like you're never going to get that. Don't worry about it, right? The lamp is kind of a situational cooldown in Overwatch 2. Don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. This kind of stuff is worse than missing a lamp though, because this is bad practice.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, now you need to go, right?
Did.
Yeah, like he's full HP, he's got his deflect, and now you need to go. Like you with the information you have, Sojourn's dead. You know somebody's on cart. You could rotate here. You could push forward, but you can't as much because you don't have lamp. Like you need to go, and yet you're so hesitant.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest with you, even without the lamp, you should have walked there. You should have zombie walked, right?
I don't know. I always have trouble with that area specifically due to
It's
just
awkward.
how long I have to walk
It's awkward.
forward for.
Yeah.
And then if I do get caught out, then I'm caught out for a long time.
Yeah. So why would I ask you to do it then?
Because I didn't move link. Or I had burst here though.
Where's their
And
attention?
there's no.
That's it.
They're all
Yeah.
in main.
Yeah. They're not looking
Yeah.
at you. They're looking at your Genji. They're looking at your Ryan. You need to take that space. Because here, if we walk here, 100% Brig dice.
I have a Brig on this
100%.
kid,
100%. I'm not sure that you would save Genji, but you definitely kill Brig. And honestly, if you kill Brig, you might kill Hazard too. Like, that's it. That's all their healing, and there's no way to close the distance with you, and you'd still have your shift and your lamp. So, like, you could have clutched this one here, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's take a look at the space. Was it earned? Yeah, as long as you don't get walled. This is spooky, so just don't get walled. Yeah, that's good. And now the best part about that is then now you can just peek it again. You don't give a frick.
Yeah.
What's he going to do about it? He has to leave now. Good stuff. That was a little thing, but that was a nice thing right there. I liked that a lot. That was good. Now this makes sense because we're Sojourn, right?
Not there.
Not there. So you're free to rotate and create some distance between yourself. Oh no, there's Sojourn. You need to drop. That's fine. This is a little close, but it's not the end of the world. That's a good lamp. That's unfortunate. He rolled away from lamp, rolled away from beat. That's a little bit unlucky. But that's a lamp where the execution was correct. It didn't work out, but the execution was correct. Nice job. I don't like the shift. That's panic. That's panic not reading your health, not reading the beat HP.
Did I ever try their ammo management there at all or no?
Well, let's take a look. You tell me.
No, I think that's fine.
I think it was fine. If you want to talk about, instead of ammo management, we'll talk about pressure management. Who should you been shooting right here? Brig, right? Anything down that corridor. Sojourn, Brig, anything. This is the one problem that a lot of even high-ranked BAPs get into, is they're so attentive to the tank trade because it's often the most available thing that they can do, right? That they forget when there's a window to take this. So much more bang for your buck. So much more bang for your buck. Maybe even just shooting there is fine, but once he starts blocking, like, like that, this is fine, right? But I think there was more windows for pressure earlier. But yeah, I think, honestly, I agree. I think you did fine. The wasted shift was the big thing, but even then, I don't know if it wins you that fight. You don't know where Hazard is, you don't hear cooldowns, so you walk on main. Now you know where Hazard is. I don't mind this. You're expecting lamp. I wanna praise your focus. You know Pulse Swamp's coming, basically.
I also know that I missed.
Right. But you also know that it missed. That's the bad thing. So the good thing is that you knew it was coming. The bad thing is that you didn't respond when it was missed, essentially.
Yeah.
I think that was okay because it did hit your cast. I don't know if you saw that, but your cast was low.
Yeah, I knew that cast was low from the slash. So I was like, all right, I'll just burst here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get him up.
Sure. Yep, here it comes. Use it. There it is. Now you need to be careful about how close you get here. I think this is just a tad bit close.
I have no CDs.
Yeah. You have no CDs, so you need to create a little bit more distance here. But yeah, this is a great time to use it. Because this split sucks. Like he dropped to 50 HP there. With the information that you have, with the cooldowns that you have, where should you be?
Worst. I actually did want to contest on top left.
Yeah. Is it risky? Yeah.
Yes.
Are you down one? Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
If you were not down one, I would think this was stupid. I'd probably play this more carefully, cautiously, maybe rotate to here, listen, look for windows of pressure when you can. But you're down one, go for it. You have your shift? Yeah, sure.
I would say another risk.
Yeah, that was good. Now you got space.
Was it worth it to use shift there, though?
I think you had to. I think you could. Okay, so let's put it this way. I think the timing of the shift is what was wrong. I think you would have needed to use shift there, like here.
Yeah.
That way, when you're in this position here, you're full HP, and that way you would have had time to lamp. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, the timing of the shift it's a very difficult cooldown to use because it's like, oh, when you're under half HP, but by the time you get under half HP, you might just get one shot, right? So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I want to stop here. What are some notes from BAP that need to be done specifically, trained specifically?
Stop trying to do the preemptive lamps.
Right. It's the preemptive lamps on distance. Notice the preemptive lamp on like the Cassidy. We didn't like that one very much either, but at least you're close enough to make a judgment call. The distance lamps, like you said, are just the problem. That's the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What else?
The target prioritization on who I'm shooting, the pressure that I'm applying. Like
Yes.
if I have both of my CDs and hey, I can play a lot more aggressively, be closer to the hazard, things
Right.
like that.
Just in general, the rotations of your angles, close left, far left, medium left, finding that sight line and using the information of number one, what are my cooldowns? Number two, what are enemy cooldowns / positions? And then make your decision accordingly. You will not always make the right decision. I distinctly remember here earlier where you were holding first defense right. I said, where should you be? He said, I'm going to go inside here. And I was like, oh no, there's a brig and a hazard there and you only have one cooldown. That's wrong, right? But you know what? That's okay. If you had done that, you would have learned. You would have made a mistake and you would have learned. That's fine. That's better than kind of just aimlessly positioning somewhere down the middle and taking the tank trade in front of your face. Be more deliberate with how you're rotating. Okay, last thing here, couple of details. These are things that you don't necessarily have to work on a ton, but just being aware of. Number one would be your tank trade focus when there are other targets to shoot. Keep an eye on that. Number two is using BAP window once you've seen a cooldown, especially for mobile characters. I don't think you need to wait to see jumps, dashes, dives, whatever to use BAP window. But if you do see them and you are still alive, and that is a perfect time to BAP window. You can use BAP window early to force, like let's say, a bad dive. That's really good. You can try and live a dive and push it afterwards, or you can just use it after. But really, you need to make sure that they can't just immediately disengage.
Got it. Okay.
Any questions here before we take a look at Kiriko?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was like roughly a year ago where you mentioned there was a Zen coaching on Li Zhang, and
Yes.
I think the title was dynamic positioning. How does that? Because a lot of my positioning on bad just comes from habits on Ana and Zen. How does that differ from like how you were coaching?
Dynamic positioning is exactly what we just talked about.
Okay. Okay, good.
Because all it is like, what are the status of my cooldowns? Like for Zenyatta, there is no cooldown, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah,
so you're strictly tracking enemy positions and rotating accordingly. For BAP, it's a little bit more complex because you might go, okay, they have cooldowns, but I do, so I can fight them. That's it. We literally just talked about dynamic positioning. That's all it was. Yep. And I also think that you already understand it. You're just not very good at applying it. Yeah. Because there was at least 4 or 5 times in that VOD where you would look at the situation and decide that I could play a little bit more aggressively or rotate to a deeper angle. And you were right.
Yeah.
You just didn't do it consistently.
I think I just, on BAP, I was focusing more on mechanics.
Yes.
Rather than actually just using my brain.
That's fine. That's fine though, right? If that was a mechanics game, that's good. Just take turns practicing mechanics a game, practicing positioning a game. You know, it's fine.
Yeah, in this game, I was thinking of like, one, I'm not good at playing with and against the ball because it feels like half the time I don't have a front line, which I don't. I also want to like see, all right, how aggressive can I actually like play in this game?
Yeah, I mean, when there's no front line, then you just position whatever angle you want.
Yeah, because I know the awkward cycle. I just didn't know how to apply it with like
Yeah.
spear or ball.
So the awkward cycle. Are you talking about the Kiriko, like awkward the coach cycle?
The 4-step plan.
Yeah. Okay, so I like Awkward's approach of like really simplifying things to an actionable plan. You're at a point in time now to where we need a little bit more nuance than that, right? So like, just honestly, we don't really need more nuance than that. But I think there are certain things I would say I don't necessarily agree with, and I think probably Awkward himself would not agree with, right? So I think Suzu is not something that you should be forced to be used. The reason why Awkward was forced to be used is because back then Kiriko had a 2-tap and she had 250 HP. So things have changed since that system was released, and I don't think it's as good anymore. The system of take angle, pressure enemy, TP out is correct, though. So the question is just more along the lines of how close should I be? And that changes what angle you take. So for example, right now, you absolutely need to be taking space, but that might be on left with your Freya. That might be right here. It's your call. Like here, you've got 2 on cart. You need to get off of cart.
Yeah, I had a second one. Yeah, you're right. I'd probably... if you wanted critical there, I'd probably take the right.
Yeah, and I know it hurts, but you have to be really careful about this right here. I don't hate it. That's fine, but you immediately need to go back and retake space. The problem with Kirikos that try to help their teammates is not that helping your teammates is bad. What you just did right there might have saved her life. I like that. But stop healing. You've already helped her, right? Good job. Now go fight the ball or go back to your angle. Don't waste time, right? Because you don't have Lucio speed. You can't go help somebody and then rotate right back. You got to start now. And you see you've kind of gotten stuck sitting where you would never, ever play with Kiriko. Why? Because you helped Freya and then you forgot what you were doing.
Right, okay.
So it's okay to do what you just did. TP out to help somebody, that's fine. But you need to go back and take space again now. Go back right, go back left, go right immediately. If you don't, because this is your fault, right? If we had gone left immediately, so like, okay, I can walk back up here. I can get in Idiari's face. That is one person where I can absolutely awkward, right? Kiriko, Widow, Hanzo, Zen, Ana, go for it, right? Get in her face, Suzu yourself, murder her. Then, oh no, I got slammed by ball, I'll disengage. But you know what? I'm not getting shot by Idiari, right? I might as well use the Suzu to guarantee the kill. You get what I'm saying? Alternatively, you could go, all right, I'm going to start taking space up right. Uh-oh, Merry Christmas. Yes, it's scary, but I think you win this duel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't necessarily pursue proximity with Kiriko. I wouldn't go out of my way, with the exception of a handful of characters, right? We talked about those. But you're fine. You're fine. Control the space. Don't let this guy do this. Look at that. He's the fricker that shot your Lucio. Like that's your job, right? So you need to not get lost kind of chasing immediate value, right? Or healing, right? It's not just healing because you're damaging here too, but you're just not controlling any space. I mean, look at this, right? You need to take space. And you know this. So the question is then why didn't you? And I think the reason is that you got distracted after you helped your Freya, which was good, but then forgot what you were originally there for.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like you went to the grocery store because your mom was like, "Yo, we need toilet paper." So you go to the grocery store and then you like spend like half an hour in the energy drink section. It's like, no, you're there for toilet paper. Go home. That's probably one of the worst analogies I think I've ever done.
Well, funny enough, I'm the exact opposite.
Oh, really?
I want to buy it.
Yeah.
If I'm there for cereal, I'll literally just buy cereal.
Oh, like okay, so you should be good at this then. All right.
I think it's just the fact that I can't think multiple things yet.
Well, right. That's totally fine.
I need to heal.
Yeah.
And then I should have immediately changed focus to going back to my positioning. But because I'm so focused on healing, especially since I have a Lucio and not like an Ana, which honestly Lucio here is correct. But so I was thinking, all right, I need to be a more heal bot rather than what I should be doing now or what you told me I should be doing.
Yeah.
I think that's just how my brain was like processing this game.
I understand. That's good to know. And that's kind of like I have to be aware of, right?
Yeah.
So like, you come back in from spawn. So you don't really have an angle because you're teleporting. Okay. Immediately, let's go ahead and lean to the right. Let's go ahead and lean to the left, right? Getting to here, look at the effectiveness of this ball engage once you're here. You still heal it, you still damage it, but you're not in the middle of it. Right, you're not in the middle of it. You just have it in an objectivity because you're from the outside looking in. It's just like real life. Like when you're in the middle of a really bad situation, you don't always make the best decisions. You need to give yourself a sense of objectivity by being just a little bit outside of it, right? And that's the problem here, is that you're generally in the middle of these things. This is fine. This is at least a little bit of an off angle. Don't fall though, go back. Okay. Open up your angle and shoot. Right? Stop healing full HP targets. So where should you go from here? Given the vision that you have. You see ball, he's in, he's out. Okay, now what? Let's say you didn't fall. Now what do you do?
I'd shoot the Alari that's out in the open.
You could just poke here. Okay, but think more about your position first. So this is a target. Okay, sure. So where do you go from here?
I could probably play left here.
Yeah, just rotate all the way here. Go for it. Do it. You could also rotate all the way to the right and do this thing here. This one's a little bit more closer. I prefer the left one just given the vision that you have. But yeah, I mean, either one works. Just to take some space. There's your problem. You can't heal that, you know? And that mistake started 10 seconds ago, right? When nobody pressured that Eviari off that angle.
Right.
Don't think, oh no, we're running Kiriko Lucio, I have to heal more. It's a mistake. You know, that's just a mistake. You got a Kiriko to use Kiriko's kit. You will heal a lot with Kiriko, but you need to heal from that angle. Use the Kiriko's tool set. If you wanted to just heal, you wouldn't go Kiriko.
For the perks, do you like the critical heal perk here? Or like just in general?
So I'm actually more of a fan of the consistency of the other one, which is just kind of free healing on whatever's in front of you. If you're playing your angles correctly, as we've said a lot of this here, it not like directly in people's faces, but kind of holding soft angles, poking and whatever, you're gonna hit shots and you're gonna have targets in front of you that you're gonna heal automatically. So I think it's worth experimenting with. I don't think it's bad. Urgent care is absolutely useful, but I think fortune teller is just a little bit more consistent, like how broadly it's useful, right? You take an angle, you're shooting, you're poking, you're healing your teammates at the same time. That's nice. For the other one, I think it kind of goes without saying that shuffling is just greatest, and there's no reason to pick the other one. I mean, the other one is cool. Like you want it to work, but the character is too imbalanced to make it work. Teleport is just way too OP. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted, right? It's not a perfect angle, but at least we're taking space, right? Like, look. You run into your problems head on. You force Suzu on yourself. Ball goes for you. Tracer goes for you. You teleport out. Resources are wasted. Somebody gets punished and dies. That's kind of like, it's not perfect, but it's something, right? The only problem is that you got a little too close, right? Like, you're forcing resources on an angle away from your team. You live the engage. Your team punishes. You have a teleport. Use it. And the only way you can
here.
Well, you don't need to worry about who you TP to. You just did it. You're here. You just teleported backwards. But if you sit inside your team, that's more of a problem, right? When you're here, if you don't retake space now, like let's say you just walked here, right? Where would you TP to here? Right? Nowhere. So you need to go back to here and support your Freya so that if you get in trouble, then you can teleport back to here. Because the more resources they put on you here, the safer this is.
Okay.
This Kitsune is fine. Like, it's on main, so then use the Kitsune on main and then take space off of it. But take space not by running it down mid, but by letting your team create a big noise, and then you take the angle here, or you take the angle here. So use the Kitsune, and then as quickly as you can, like right here, get off the floor.
Yeah.
You get me?
Right,
as soon as you can. Yeah. So you don't have to do this, because this is what I'm talking about. When you're on main, you TP main, and you die. Very scary. Is all this making sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm just not dealing enough damage.
So you just teleported off of main onto an angle. What should you do?
Yeah. Commit to that angle.
Commit to that angle, right? So like this one actually kind of works for you. So you need to be careful, but I think this is pretty good. Let's stay here. Let's make this work. Don't worry about your team. This is where the real focus should be. And there it goes. See? Team's fine. That's okay. That's okay. Just you'll be faster next time.
Yeah. You can does TP fully cleanse the pulse, or
it does.
Is it the timing?
It drops it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the timing's not important.
I thought it was a frame. That's why.
No.
Yeah.
That's okay. So this is the thing. Quickly deal with that tracer and get off the floor. Where should you go from here? What's your best angle?
There's.
Yep. Get off here. Get up to here. Give yourself a little bit of objectivity. If you want to teleport to heal, that's fine, but only do so if it's necessary. And then as soon as you deal with it, move elsewhere.
Got it.
Good stuff. All right, this is going to be interesting here. Let's go back a little bit. Oh dear, Frey is very deep. Good shots. Good healing. It's fine. I mean, that's not your fault. She's an idiot. It was a good try. Now, you're going to have to lose some space here, but where should you be rotating to right now?
Can I be going either top left or bottom right?
Top left, probably a little too close given the fact that you don't have teleport, right? But you're thinking about it the right way. Maybe I could go right. Maybe I could back up and wall climb and take this position here. Maybe I could even just put myself here and then decide what I want to do from there. But let's go ahead and restart retaking some space here. But not from cart. You see, this is the problem. People think, let's take some space. This is what they think. No, get up to here. Get up to here if you want to. If you want to try that. Sure, go. This is not taking space. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they were just able to walk freely here.
Correct. And you're in so much danger in this position too. Like even right now, you should still be taking top left. Give yourself an angle to break turret even. You're getting pincered from behind and you're just surrounded. You're not taking any space whatsoever. And so then you have to teleport out to the angle to help her, but it's too late. You've not compensated by putting pressure elsewhere. Take top left. Oh, that's so really stupid of that Kiriko. It's fine. All of Kiriko is taking space. All of it.
Yeah.
Her kit is so pared down. Like, cleanse is like something that everyone talks about how OP it is. And in certain situations it is. But most of the time it's not even close to being the most important part of her kit. You could take cleanse away from Kiriko and just give her a random self-heal and she would have the exact same playstyle in 99% of circumstances. Let's see what you do.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just staying here. I'm gonna be walking towards left.
What it is there's a hesitancy of like, we're down one, I shouldn't be taking space. Yeah, I kind of agree, but you see where everybody is. It's the same thing with BAP, right? Yeah. You know everybody and their mother's here. I wouldn't necessarily walk directly into Tracer or pocketed here, right? Like, this is too scary for me. But there's nobody here. Just walk and take it, you know? See what happens. Yeah. Like, I don't even hate this angle, but if this is where you wanted to be, want to be a little bit further, be there a little bit sooner. So, okay, let's watch one more fight here and let's see what you do. And this is also where you're not going to get a perfect Kitsune, so you just need to take what you can get. So like you can drop to here, Kitsune on cart, cost some space, and take top left. You can walk to here and Kitsune top left with your Tracer. That's probably optimal.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, you could Kitsune towards your Lucio here and just pop off the high ground on this angle here. It's really your call.
I think this ult specifically, it took me quite a while to actually use it.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're looking for the optimal situation, and you need to stop looking for the optimal situation. You just need to look for space.
Yeah, I think your recent Ash video showed it just get something done.
Yep. Like, this is good. Like, if you'd used your Kiriko or Kitsune here and just toss Suzu, this would have been fine. The problem is that we're consistently not taking space and then teleporting to take space. Do you see the difference? So you've actually used your offensive cooldown or defensive cooldown to take space. And obviously you're like, oh, but shuffle. Yeah, but you shouldn't have to shuffle out there. You should be able to shuffle away when the ball dives you, because and then shuffle right back, right? Once he goes away, right? That's the optimal way to use shuffle when you can.
Shuffle? Or?
Yeah, the perk. The TP perk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. This is okay. Be careful because you don't have your Suzu, but this is okay.
Am I zombie walking here right now?
Yes, because there needs to be once this Tracer's dead, you're like, okay, I need to fight this Torb. So you need to find a way an angle to approach this Torb. You need to go right down his gullet, which I don't love, or you need to find your next off angle. Where's your next off angle right now?
Probably just left of stairs.
Somewhere here. I don't know where, but get off the floor. Right?
Yeah.
So the zombie walk really starts here, but it doesn't start here. Here, walking forward to take the space here was the correct play, but you're going to kind of end up aimlessly in the middle of nowhere. Does that make sense?
Right.
Oof. That was scary. Oh, that's really unlucky. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, it was by far your best setup fight with the ult and everything else. Good. Just need that sooner. Sooner.
That's
Okay.
like a lot more of the taking space,
A lot
less
more of the
skill
taking
bonding.
space, right? A lot more of the taking space. Whether you're using the awkward cycle or doing something with a little
Hmm.
bit more distance, it depends, right? Like you can get up close to certain heroes and others you don't, but we need to be taking space on the angle, creating safer disengage routes, and then just finding Kitsune value with whatever works, not looking for the optimal perfect situation. Just use it. That last fight
Yeah,
Kitsune is great. It's perfect. Beautiful.
because it was just something that worked
It was
rather
something,
than
right? It was something. Like you
yeah.
hit your team with your ball and you hit it yourself, and then you had a teammate kind of come in towards the end and try to get value of it. Yeah, it's fine. Freaking made a lot of noise
Okay.
and got a kill. Yeah, it was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any questions?
Uh, I'm trying to think, but honestly, me personally, whenever I have questions, it usually comes after
That's normal. That's normal.
the
I think
window
that's
for
probably
questions.
better because you've had time to think things through, right? And probably answer a couple of your own questions yourself. But
Yeah.
just message me. It's fine.
Okay. All
Yeah, there's
right.
there's no
Thank
rush.
you
You
so
could.
much.
You're very welcome, man. I'll have this sent to you in a little bit. It will be probably about 30 minutes before it's done uploading, but you'll have the link right away.